Hey everyone, so I finished the Handmaid's Tale season 5, and these are my first impression thoughts. Um, Overall, I liked it. It was solid season, like all of them. My least favorite so far would definitely be season 3, just because it's pretty slow, but I still enjoyed moments of it, and the performances also, of course, because it's some of the best acting in television, in my opinion. And Elizabeth Moss is great. Ann Dowd is incredible. I remember her from Shiloh as the mom. She's great. And honestly, she probably gives one of her better performances in this, which is great throughout the whole series. But here, she really shines because the moment's calls for it, and she's given some real depth to her character. And it's really exciting to see because it's a big drastic change that we haven't throughout the rest of the series. Um, but yeah, uh, this season it really does take its time building up. Uh, but I appreciate that. Um, what I don't care so much about it is that we spend less time in Gilead and more in Canada with June and Luke. And I don't know, I just miss the Gilead aspect of it all because that's what the show is built on, really. And I feel like without it, it kind of feels like any other show, really. Like, even though it's not, it's very different, obviously, but it's just missing that aspect of it. And because we're not in Gilead throughout the season, really. There's maybe a couple scenes, the beginning and end in Gilead, and I was like, I miss Janine and Aunt Lydia. And you know, there's some things that aren't really touched on as far as some of the other characters. Um, but it was I did enjoy the how the tables have turned. We see Serena put in a position where she's very much like a handmaid. It's not quite that severe, but she is ultimately held captive, having to give up her baby, and as close as you can get to being a handmaid, really. And she gets enough of her own medicine to where you see a side of her that really surprised me because the whole run of the show, I've been wanting her to get her due for what she's done to June. But in one of the middle episodes, um, halfway through the series, June pretty much spills out that, you know, where she mentions this isn't Gilead and I'm not you, which is very powerful delivery from Elizabeth Moss, by the way, when she's talking to Serena and why she's not tried to kill her. Um, it really makes you sympathize with Serena to a degree. I mean, you still are aware of the horrible things she's done. After all, she's helped develop the nation Gilead, and you know, you can't change someone's past. And really, deep down, she's still the same person. She was just like a victim of circumstance where, it pretty much, she did see what she has done by having the events happen to her that was similar to June and the rest of the handmaids. And I thought that was really powerful. But also, it makes me feel bad for her in a way, which is weird because I hated her. It's like a love-hate relationship every time because you see some humanity in her. Um, but then, like, it's just great writing how that it can make you change your perception of a character that's so hated and so vile. But then, next episode, you're like, I need to rethink some stuff. And yeah, but anyway, I thought the chemistry was great. Of course, that's one of the strongest aspects of the show. is again the performances, the writing, and the atmosphere is great. It's very haunting because just from how realistic it is, taking inspiration from real historical events such as the Holocaust and many other places around the world tormenting people. Um, and being gay myself, I'd be on the wall if I was in this story. For being a gender traitor. Um, but yes, like again, it was a good show. I just felt like it. It was kind of. It felt a little claustrophobic in one area because and the more recent seasons are we would be like in season 4 we were in Canada, we were in Gilead, but different places of Gilead. Very quickly, and I like that a lot. It's made it fast paced and interesting. Uh, so that's probably another reason why this season felt a little slower throughout. But you know, I mean, I still enjoyed it a lot. We did get to see more side, bigger side of June and Luke, this season. And even though it wasn't happy-go-lucky, you know, it was still nice to see Luke's side of things, even though it makes you kind of question his, really, in a way. But also, just, I don't know, the writing, again, it's just so complex, and so are the characters, and that's what's so appealing. But then, anyway, sorry, like I said, I haven't rehearsed or anything. But anyway, um, yeah, again, this season finale wasn't as near as epic as last season. I mean, you can't top that, really, to be honest. But this season does get you excited for the sixth and final season of the series, which is kind of sad, but really ready to go. I mean, with this type of story, you don't want to keep it going until you milk it to death, and then it just loses all depth and everything. So I'm glad they're going to go out, strong, hopefully. I'm sure they will, given the season was a very strong season, despite still feeling a little, I don't know, cramped. Uh, Not too much, really, but it did feel, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to see more in Gilead and more of the characters from there as well, like a balance or something, but this season was very June heavy, which I'm fine with, but I wanted a little more of everyone else too. Like, June took up a lot of the screen time, and I want a little more. But again, Serena, the actress that plays her, I can't pronounce her name. Vivi's wifey of whatever her name is. Yovia, I don't know. But anyway, she was great. Which again, not only does the writing help change our perception of her character, but it serves her performance. Like, it makes you feel really, kind of bad for her in a way, unexpectedly. And I did really enjoy the ending. It was, you know, strong, and, you know, I loved seeing June and Serena together in the same situation, escaping with their babies. And then her line where she's like, "Do you have a diaper?" That was cute, honestly. And Elizabeth Moss directed that episode as well as a few others. And this season, I think Commander Lawrence was good. The actor who portrayed him, I can't remember his name, but he was good in this. He was given some more depth and this season. Um, I don't care for how, like, they just wrote off Emily, but I think it was due to personal reasons that she wasn't in it. But I hope she comes back at least for next season, because she had a pretty pivotal role, honestly. But yeah. Anyway, uh, all in all, like I think the first seasons are definitely the first two. Uh, then four, then five, then three. I think that's the order I'm putting them in, from best to worst, which is no worst ones because they're all good in their own way. Even though some can be a little slow here and there, but yeah, uh, yeah. That's pretty much my thoughts for now. What do you think about it? Let me know. Oh, and under his eye.